Hello the cop, please subscribe my channel for follow Liverpool Football Club news on every days. Jurgen Klopp confirms Alisson or Kevin Kelleher decision for League Cup final. Jurgen Klopp has already confirmed which goalkeeper he intends to use in next month's League Cup final, after his side booked their place at Wembley with a 3-2 aggregate win over Fulham. The Reds reached the showpiece for the second time in 3 seasons with a 1-1 draw at Craven Cottage, after Luis Diaz's first-half strike was cancelled out by Issa Diop late on. Attention has already turned to the big one in a month's time, with fans quick to question who will be between the sticks against Chelsea. Klopp addressed that question in his post-match press conference, revealing that Kevin Kelleher will get the nod at Wembley and explaining the difference between his place and Jarell Quansah's. "Imagine that," laughed Klopp when asked about the prospect of not picking the Irishman for the final. "Oh, that's a different situation a little bit between Kevin and Jarell for example. So Jarell is part of, if you want, the rotation crew, easy as that. And that's how it is, we have to. Imagine we now play 2 all the time, we don't want to do it and we will not. As long as we can make these decisions we will. Kevin is a top goalie, and when Ollie is fit he doesn't have a lot of games, so I want to give him, desperately, the opportunity to play because it's important for development and he deserves it on top of that because he's always there, he gives his absolute everything, like Adrian by the way it's the same." Supporters may have been left wondering if Alisson would get the chance to start at Wembley next month, with Kelleher having played 4 of the 6 games en route to the Reds lifting the trophy in 2022. The Irishman is considered the club's League Cup goalkeeper, however, and Klopp was quick to insist that both he and Alisson are aware of the way that situation works. He continued, "They deserve moments in this competition, and I told Ollie before the season, no 2 years ago it was already like that, right? So I don't know exactly how many games he played now already, but with the Europa League there were a few and that's how it works." He was really happy after the game today. He's not smiling a lot, at least when I'm around, but after the game, I could see he was really happy about qualifying again and having the chance again to win the second trophy of his career, which would be a big one. But we all know it's Chelsea and they probably want to put history right after playing us twice 2 years ago, but it's just great. Jurgen Klopp says Liverpool form not possible without lifesaver Joe Gomez. After another great display against Fulham, Jurgen Klopp piled on the praise for Joe Gomez, calling him a lifesaver, especially since Andy Robertson's injury. Playing at left-back, Gomez put in another mature performance to help see Liverpool through to the League Cup final. The 26-year-old has started Liverpool's last 8 matches, continuing his growth into Liverpool's most versatile defender, able to cover every position across the back line. Having deputized for Trent Alexander-Arnold earlier in the season, Gomez has spent much of the last 3 months, since Robertson injured his shoulder, playing at left-back. When Kostas Tsimikas broke his collarbone, he suddenly became even more vital and Klopp has had nothing but praise for Gomez. The manager said, "Without Joe nothing would have happened in the last pretty much 13, or 14 weeks since Robbo is out." A strong statement, but Klopp backed it up, saying, "He played exceptional today again. He's a real defender and he comes inside, he's doing that really well." The boss added, "He is a lifesaver, to be honest, that he was here, that he could play. People forget how important Joey was in the best years we had. I don't know how many games he played in the year when we became champions and how many games he played when we won the Champions League, a lot and rightly so because he's a top-class player. Well, we can tell you he made 28 appearances in the 2019-20 Premier League season, and played 9 times on the way to winning the 2019 Champions League." While Gomez has been performing brilliantly in defense, it has been well documented that he is still yet to score his first career goal, a mission that seems to be coming closer to completion every week. Klopp commented on his long-standing drought. He tried a couple of times, versus Fulham, obviously to finish the discussion about not scoring. "I would say for my taste from a bit too far, but it's still alright. Liverpool were feeling comfortable in their 3-1 aggregate lead at Craven Cottage, hence probably why Gomez took a couple of shots on from outside the penalty box. Such has been Gomez's positive impact, Robertson's impending return may not be as straightforward for the Scotsman as expected. Imagine being us. Jurgen Klopp has a slightly different response to fan banner. Jurgen Klopp gave a brilliant yet measured response when asked about a much-photographed banner that reappeared in Liverpool's away end on Wednesday night. The Reds booked their place in the League Cup final for the second time in 3 seasons by seeing off Fulham, completing a 3-2 aggregate win in the semi-final on Wednesday night. An early strike from Luis Diaz put Liverpool in great shape to progress, but Issa Diop's equaliser made for a tense last quarter of an hour at Craven Cottage. Klopp's side managed to hang on to make it through, and a famous banner with the words "Imagine being us" was lifted by a jubilant travelling cop. Speaking after the game, the manager gave a beaming smile when speaking about the banner, but insisted the focus of him and his side remains on the further challenges to come. "It's completely fine that our fans feel it like that, I'm really happy and pleased for them, but we play in 4 days against Norwich," the boss explained in his post-match press conference. "That's my problem if you want. But then 3 days after that we play Chelsea and then Arsenal. So, imagine being us and having to play all the games we have to play. That's not as enjoyable as watching them, but it's fine, absolutely fine." Liverpool's hectic schedule is a byproduct of their success on all fronts so far this season, with Klopp's side still involved in all 4 major competitions. The form doesn't appear to have suffered, however, with the Reds now on a 6-game winning streak having been perfect since the turn of the year. Fans can continue to dream about the prospect of Liverpool parading all 4 trophies in the city centre in May, but the manager's attention is still firmly on the task at hand. The visit of Norwich awaits at Anfield this weekend, before a huge week on the league front that features meetings with Chelsea and Arsenal. Hello the Cop, please subscribe my channel for follow Liverpool Football Club news on everydays.